The jackpot for the Hugh Freeze lottery just hit an all-time high. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day, so whether you agree with me, want to talk trash with me, or talk trash to me, you're going to enjoy this channel. Before we actually get into the Hugh Freeze lottery jackpot, that was a crazy game between Liberty and Coastal Carolina. I picked Liberty to win that game because I thought Coastal Carolina did not like being the favorite. They relished the underdog role. They weren't comfortable. It was a long layoff between their last game and this game. They didn't get to play their conference championship. And I think it was just too much pressure for Coastal Carolina to be the first ever Sun Belt team to finish the entire season undefeated. And that's why I picked Liberty. It wasn't really a surprise. But watching the game, it was anybody's game. Liberty tried to give that game away at the end of the fourth quarter. The dude literally turned around and laid the ball down before he crossed the plane. I guess he was hoping one of his teammates would pick it up. That's how desperate he was not to score. It was a fumble, or it was ruled a fumble. Personally, I think the ball crossed the plane. That's another argument. It was a fumble, ruled a fumble. Coastal got it back. It went to overtime. Liberty made a field goal, and they blocked Coastal Carolina's field goal. That was the craziest ending to a game I've probably ever seen. And that's including the kick six with Alabama-Auburn. I think it was crazier than that. So it's that time of year again where teams fire coaches and hire coaches. Coaches resign or get extended. All that good stuff. So I wanted to run through that real quick and talk about the Hugh Freeze lottery. That jackpot is massive right now because of that win last night. Auburn fired Gus Malzahn and they hired the head coach from Boise State, Brian Harsin. I think this is a good move. I would give that a B, depending on how the staff hiring goes. Arizona fired Kevin Sumlin. At the time, I thought it was a good hire from Texas A&M. No, they hired Jed Fish from UCLA, who doesn't really have any coaching experience. I would give that like a C. He hasn't really proven anything, but you never know. He might be a good one. UL Monroe. The only reason I'm talking about them is because of the name they hired. They fired Matt Vitor and hired Terry Bowden. He hasn't coached in a while, and he's 64. I guess I'll give that one a C-. He's had some mild success, but really, I think he doesn't have much left in the tank. I don't think that was all that good of a hire. We'll see if Bowden can use that name to recruit at UL Monroe, but I don't know about that. Vanderbilt, they fired Derek Mason and hired Notre Dame's defensive coordinator, Clark Lee. I actually think that's a good hire. I would give that a B+. Illinois, they fired Lovie Smith, the former coach for the Chicago Bears. They hired Brett Bielema. He's familiar with the Big Ten and had success at Wisconsin. I'd give that hire a B+. Could be higher, we'll see. Arkansas State, their coach Blake Anderson resigns. They hire Butch Jones. That's a bad hire. I'm going to say a D-. I would give it an F, but maybe he'll have a little bit of success. That's a terrible hire. He's not a good person, and he's not a good head coach. South Carolina fired Will Muschamp and hired Shane Beamer, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. I give this an A-, not because of coaching credentials, but South Carolina needs offense. This guy knows offense. They got away from the Saban coaching tree. It's a good hire. I like it so far. The next category are the coaches that are staying. They got extended. Mario Cristobal at Oregon. He got extended 5 years. Jamie Chadwell at Coastal Carolina. He got extended 7 years. I still think somebody's going to come along and buy him out. But for right now, he's at Coastal Carolina. Teams that haven't extended but are saying this is our guy, or vice versa. Scott Satterfield at Louisville. For right now, they both are on the same page, and he's staying at Louisville. Bill Napier at Louisiana. He's saying he's committed to that university, and he's staying. We'll see if the bigger names come calling, if he's good to that word. The next category, not fired yet. Justin Fuente at Virginia Tech. He has been a big letdown for Virginia Tech. I mean, if you're okay with mediocrity, then he's your coach. Just like Dana Holgerson was at West Virginia. We are sick of it. He wanted a raise. No, send him to Houston. I think Virginia Tech's in the same situation. I think it's time to move on from Justin Fuente. So maybe that could be a destination for Hugh Freeze. And he would stay in the state of Virginia. Jeremy Pruitt at Tennessee, I haven't heard good or bad, but as of right now, he does have a job at Tennessee. If that job comes open, I think that would be enticing to Hugh Freeze as well. Tom Herman at Texas. Texas is sticking to their guns and saying this is our guy. But that is a high-profile job. If Herman messes up this next year and they get rid of him, that comes open, that's a big opportunity for Hugh Freeze. Then, of course, Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. I think the only reason they haven't fired him yet is because his buyout is massive. I think he has one more year. And when the Michigan job opens up, I think Harbaugh will go to the NFL, and Hugh Freeze will be on the list, and that will be enticing. I don't think Hugh Freeze is going to go to Boise State, so I think for this year he stays at Liberty. Hugh Freeze increased his stock drastically last night and with this entire season. The weird thing about Hugh Freeze is, for a lack of a better phrase, he comes with immoral baggage. And who gave him another chance? A Christian university. Liberty is a Christian university. They're setting the example. If Liberty can give somebody a second chance, then everybody should be able to give somebody a second chance. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.